Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
I love it. He probably does already.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers. We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
Some breaking news sources are telling us that New York Attorney General Leticia James and her office are under investigation by the Department of Justice in relation to her case against President Trump. Justice correspondent David Spunt is in Washington. What do you know, David?
Well, hi, Dana. Two well-placed sources familiar with the probe tell Fox News that New York Attorney General Leticia James and her office is under investigation by the DOJ here in Washington. We're told that Attorney General Pam Bondi signed off on the probe. Subpoenas were sent to James's office, and there is a grand jury investigation underway in the New York State capital of Albany. The specific investigation, my colleague Jake Gibson, Ashley Oliver, and myself are being told involves deprivation of rights, which in plain language means someone in a position of legal authority violating someone else's constitutional or legal rights. Those sources tell Fox News the DOJ is going after James because she took then former President Donald Trump to court, quote, simply because she didn't like him and campaigned on getting him.
This is the kind of thing that you hear about in banana republics, because someone who is powerful doesn't like you, a bureaucrat in government who's basically going to be there as long as people keep voting them back in or hiring them back in, just targets you and wants to destroy you in order to take away your ability to do anything else against their regime. That is insane. Watching this happen to Donald Trump for the last couple of years was very frightening, because it reminded most of us who are immigrants of the countries that we fled from. Now, here's Leticia James on the campaign trail, campaigning on targeting and prosecuting President Trump.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
I love it. He probably does already.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers. We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
A classic move by authoritarians is that they couch everything under the rule of law. No one is above the law, and they blatantly break the law themselves while twisting the law to attack their political opponents, which is the classic playbook that we saw from the Democrats and Leticia James for the last 4 years. Now, here's TDS BC announcing Leticia James is dropping out of her run for governor of New York, only to turn her full attention to attacking the Democrat Party's political enemy, President Trump.
New York's Attorney General Leticia James has just dropped out of the race for governor and says she wants to depose former President Donald Trump next month, part of a civil investigation into whether the Trump organization committed fraud in reporting the value of certain properties.
Now, let's remember that she said this clearly announcing to everyone that she was targeting President Trump.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money.
There's a saying in communist regimes, find the person, then look for the crime. This is the clear playbook of Marxist, communist, and socialist regimes, where they target political opponents and try to pin crimes on them because they need to get them out of the way. Having this happen in America for over 4 years was terrifying to a lot of people watching from other countries that have this running rampant.
DOJ, led by Bondi, believes she violated his First Amendment rights dealing with free speech.
Predictably, CNN is running interference for Leticia James. Here they are claiming that the Trump administration is targeting their political enemies. But they didn't say that when Leticia James campaigned on indicting President Trump and put forward over 50 criminal cases against President Trump.
The Justice Department is opening a criminal probe into New York Attorney General Leticia James, the latest example of the Trump administration targeting a longtime Trump political adversary. At least that's the way he views it. She certainly views it as doing her job when it comes to following the law. Now, James sued, on that note, Donald Trump and his company for fraud, a case she won.
Yes, that was a case she won because it was run in a blue state and the jury was loaded with people who didn't like Trump. And of course, the cases were going to go against Donald Trump. No one will forget the 36 or 37 counts that were manufactured by the jury because the judge said, go and figure out what he's guilty of.
James has said before she believed Trump inflated his net worth to get good deals on loans from lenders and other financial benefits. Ms. James won in a court judgment of over $450 million against the Trump organization.
So when you don't like someone, you figure out, oh, they must be guilty of something. I believe that they did this or the other, and then use your powers as a public servant to go after them simply because you don't like them. Here she is appearing on The View, that show that classically hates everything that is Donald Trump. And she is being celebrated for the over 50 lawsuits that she brought against the president.
The very mention of our next guest must strike fear in the heart of you-know-who right now. Because after shutting down his foundation and filing nearly 70 lawsuits against his administration, she now has an active investigation into his business dealings that could severely impact him and his family when he leaves the White House. Please welcome New York Attorney General Leticia James. Leticia, welcome to the show. Welcome to The View. Woo.
Let's not forget the facts. Leticia James ran for her role as AG in order to indict and prosecute President Trump. She had hours and hours of interview where she said what she was going to do. We've only played a few seconds of these interviews. All of it is on the internet. It's not going anywhere. TDSBC, CNN, ABC can all run interference for her, claiming that the Trump administration is targeting her as their political opponent and that she was just doing her job. But you can hear exactly what she said. Do your own research. This isn't someone looking out for content to make these people look bad. They did it to themselves. They said for years that they were targeting Trump. They said for years what they were going to do. They've said for years what they're going to do against people who have conservative values, especially those with Christian values. And it's all out there on the internet. Do your own research. Let's see where this investigation goes. But we're going to keep hearing how the Trump administration is doing what they accuse the Biden administration of doing. This is not the same. Here, there are actual crimes that were committed against private citizens and against a former sitting president, which has never been done before. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section. Let me know if you agree that Leticia James is being targeted, or if after looking at all the evidence that it definitely does appear that she used her office to attack someone she just didn't like. Leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Hit the bell icon to be notified when fresh content is released. It helps out a whole lot.